Hi, my name is Alyssa from Wonder Yoga. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I've got a short yoga session to explore today. We'll be starting with a lovely slow warm-up, a chance to connect in with the breath and to be really present in your body for this short amount of time in your day. And then we'll be exploring the integration of breath and movement together, moving through a short sequence, one that you could repeat a few times if you want to adapt it to a longer yoga session, perhaps a 50 or 55-minute session. You could maybe slow it right down or make it more energized depending on your energy levels today. So have a play with that, make it your own. And then of course we'll be winding down with some further stretches and some lovely twists to finish off. So start where you are, you don't need anything. If you find this pose particularly uncomfortable and is seated cross legs, then you could grab yourself a cushion or a bolster to sit on. Other than that, just enough space to spread out your body. And let's begin. So we're starting lying on our backs. Come all the way down with your knees bent up. Feet slightly wider so your knees can rest together and you can let your thigh muscles relax. Adjusting the position of your shoulders, position of your head, so you feel comfortable and at ease. And today I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your belly to feel your breath beneath. Eyes drift closed if you like. And begin to give your full attention to your breath. Feeling the movement that arises in your body from breath. Gradually letting your body relax even more. So start to notice anything that you're holding on to. And use your breath, every exhalation, to consciously let go. Now see if you can direct your breath more deeply into your lower abdomen. So you may draw it in more slowly, more deeply. Let it rise right up to your chest. And release it out slowly and softly. Bring your feet to around hip width apart, so your feet, knees and hips are all around the same width. And then pick up one knee with both hands, gather it in really gently. And as you draw it in, nestle it in really close to your body, slightly more towards your armpit, so slightly more towards the side of the body. Now you could just hold it here or just kind of nestle back and forth, exploring a bit of movement. You can keep the other leg bent, or you may like to straighten it out long, checking in with your lower back. So if there's any discomfort in the lower back or in the pelvis, choose another option. So bringing it in close, either holding still or moving from side to side. If you start to tense up anywhere else in the body, just allow it to soften back down. So try to maintain a full body awareness. And we'll move to the other side, so knees gather up, switching sides, foot might land to the ground, or you might stretch out long. Bringing your knees slightly more towards the armpit, either holding or moving back and forth. And begin to notice any differences from one side to the other. So if one hip or groin kind of feels more restricted than the other, if there's any tightness on one side compared to the other, it's just helpful to know what's here. Gathering both knees up, and we'll switch sides. So you could let the leg hover if you like, or land or bend up. And we'll keep moving from side to side, taking a breath in as you switch, and a breath out as you hug your knee in. So we'll keep moving from one side to the other at a pace that feels good to you. And you might still be kind of nestling the leg in towards you. Choose your own version. We'll make this the last one, and then gather both knees up towards your chest. And then bring your big toes together, knees open to the sides. Reach up from the inside to your shins, or up to your ankles if you can reach that far. Let your shoulders open and release back down. Knees opening wide, and gently gather in the lower legs. So feel the lower back press long into the floor. And gradually softening again. So notice if you've started to tense up around your chest or shoulders or throat. Softening down. And begin to draw your breath in deeply into a softened belly. See if you can move your breath right down into your lower abdomen. Let it rise right on up to your chest. And release it out slowly, softening at the very end of your breath. Now, adding on from here, float one leg out to the diagonal and support it from the outside. So that might be under the thigh or around your calf, propped up onto your elbow so you can relax, let shoulders ease again. Now you might start with a generously bent knee. We'll gradually start to let gravity take over, beginning to lengthen the leg without any force at all. So we're starting to stretch through the back and the inside of the leg. But we're finding a nice natural angle out of the pelvis, so rather than trying to force it towards our nose or out to the side, just easing out to the diagonal. Bringing your attention back to your breath. And then slowly reset. And then opening the other leg, holding wherever it's comfortable. And you might straight away notice how tight that leg seems in comparison. So just give it some time, have patience. Let gravity do all the hard work. Begin to let your body soften back down. Feeling your breath moving in your body. Feel where it expands to and how it feels when you release it out. And very slowly drawing legs back in, let them come together. Turning over, come all the way to a child's pose. We'll take some time getting into it. So starting from hands and knees, bring your knees out to the edges of your mat if you're on one. Big toes come together. Hands walk forward. And take a breath in to lengthen forward. On the breath out, slide your hips a long way back. Shuffle the hands in until your elbows can rest down comfortably. Let your head touch down and begin to ease into your hips. Now as we start to ease into this pose, feel where your breath moves to in your body. So how does it feel different now? Are you more aware of it being in your back body? So broadening around the rib cage, a sense of lengthening up and down the spine. letting your hips settle with every breath out. So this is a lovely pose for whenever you need to just quieten down your body, quietening your nervous system, when you just kind of need to reset and tune into your breath. It's a great place to come to. Alright, come on up to your seated position. Like I said earlier, if you need a cushion or a bolster, just raise the hips a little and it'll make this pose a bit more comfortable for you. Hands rest on your knees or in your lap and close your eyes down. Considering the alignment in your body. So whether it feels like you're kind of shrugging forward or whether you're compensating by propping yourself up. And instead, let's find a place somewhere in between. It's halfway between collapsing and propping. Just a place where you can feel space and ease in your body. Letting your knees fall open to the sides, trying to relax any grip through the groin or through the inner thighs. And we'll tilt the chin down, lengthening up the back of your neck. Reversing the move, lifting your chest, lifting your chin, opening your throat. Tilting down. You might feel a pull down the back of your neck or even down your back body. On a breath in, lift and open. And a breath out. Start to make the movement a little larger. You could bring hands cupping onto your knees. On the breath in, lift the center of your chest and roll shoulders back. And a breath out to round forward. So the pelvis will start to tilt as you round back and then lift forward. Feel the pelvis tilt forward. And keep moving from one phase to the other. But see if you can lead your movements with your breath. So let the breath initiate, rising, lifting, and keep breathing in. A sense of suspension at the top before releasing. Now this next time that you rise, float your fingertips behind you, roll your shoulders back, lift the center of your chest, press down into your palms if they reach, and tip your head back as far as it feels good while still feeling supported. Knees pressed down and open. One more breath. And on the breath out, start to float forward, coming either to your fingers or to your palms, or even further if you can. Letting your shoulders round out. Tilt your chin without letting it drop. Just lift the back of your head, jawline back towards your throat. And begin to direct your breath into your back body. Feeling the ribs expand and soften with each exhalation. Picturing a turtle shell. Feeling the long curve through your spine from your tailbone right on up to the back of your neck. Switching your legs over. We've always got one dominant leg that wants to be in front, so it might feel a bit strange at first, but eventually we'll forget which one's the dominant one. One hand on top of each knee. A hand comes behind. Lift and open your chest and take a look behind you. You may like to let your chin turn towards your shoulder and try to broaden across your collarbones. If there's a lot of grip through this groin or inner thigh, just allow your knees to fall open with ease. And we'll come to the other side, one hand on each knee, other hand behind. A breath in to lengthen up through your spine, and a breath out to revolve. Turn and face the front. Hands either side of you. Lift one arm up and over. And lengthen across. So again, we're not collapsing into this pose, rounding, hunching. I want you to feel the upward lift in your body and then soften back a little. And keep reaching across, letting the opposite knee drop open. One more breath. And switching to the other side. So a breath in to create length through your body. And a breath out to let it soften across. Now come on over to hands and knees and make your way up to a forward fold. Feet at hip width apart. Bend your knees really generously and drape your belly down over your thighs. Let your head relax, so shoulders and neck are at ease. You could let your hands rest to the floor or loosely clasp your elbows in the opposite hands. Now pressing down into both feet, spread your toes, press into the balls of the feet and back into your heels. And as we feel this downward pressure, at the same time, let your hips suspend and relax down through your upper body. So you can hold still or gently sway from side to side. And then releasing your arms. Step your left leg a long way back. Spin your heel to the floor. Bend your knees, bend your front knee to rise. And then reach both arms up and over, extending through both legs. And lower thumbs to center. Bend the front knee. Shifting forward, take a little step in and float the back leg off. So keep your body open to the side and keep the top leg active. Then turning to face the floor, a little bend in the standing knee, float your arms out wide. Hips and shoulders are level to the ground. And take a big step back, bend your back knee deeply and raise your arms overhead. Now just stay where you are. We're drawing in through the belly, lengthening down through the tailbone. You might even get a bit of a stretch through the front of the hip, lengthening up from the knee to hip to shoulder. So that's why we've got a deep knee bend to help support the lower back. Now lengthening up through the back leg, reaching forward. Float the back leg off, let arms sweep down and behind. Dive your chest, bend in the front knee to help support your body. And the knee comes through, arms float overhead. Come down through center, landing in your forward fold. So arms relax, head hangs, maybe hold on to elbows if you prefer. So we'll do the same on the other side, releasing arms, and this time the right leg will step back, spin the heel down, draw energy up through this back leg as we rise. Both arms reach overhead, extend up through both legs and lower down through center. Shift your weight into the front leg, floating the back leg off. Keep pressing into palms, roll your shoulders open. Now turning to face the floor. Float arms out wide. Keep that little lift in the belly to help support. Keep lifting the top leg. And then step back, bending the front knee. Bend your back knee deeply, so let's tilt the pelvis. Take a breath in and rise. Pushing down into the back foot, reaching forward. Keep shifting forward, back leg lifts, arms sweep down, open across your shoulders. Back knee comes through. Float your arms high, steady, and come down to your forward fold. Releasing both arms, drop the crown of your head. Knees can still remain as bent as they need to be. Hold elbows if you like. So if you wanted to extend this yoga session, you could do that same sequence 2 or 3 more times on each side. You could slow it right down or speed it up as you like. Okay, tucking one leg under, come and take a seat and extend them out long in front of you. Shuffle your hips back and bring in your right foot. Now you could keep it on the inside of your leg or cross it over. Bringing in nice and close so that you can still keep your lower back long. So if you start to shrink back, perhaps choose another version. So sitting tall, hand or elbow hooks around, bit of energy in that long leg to create more of an upward lift of your body. Another hand floats behind, turning shoulders and let your eye gaze follow behind. Turning to face the front. We've got a couple of options here if you want to come with me. I'm going to hook this foot alongside the outer thigh, keeping both hips level and a bit of energy still in that long leg, and then sit up tall from here. If this is too intense for you, then you could bring your foot to the inside of your leg. Now start to hinge forward from the hips, so we create a lot of length through your spine, so we're not hunching and reaching from here. We'll get a lot more out of the pose if we can start to lengthen forward, so moving with the center of the chest, adjust the position of your chin, and feel the intensity up the back of this leg. If you want to create more intensity, flex the foot even more. And also you might be getting a stretch somewhere around the hips, depending on how tight or restricted you're feeling today. So once you've found your position and start to lean into it, close your eyes and give your full attention to your breath again. So we're searching for ease in the body through the breath. Coming up, give your legs a little shake out and come and switch sides. So foot comes to the inside or crossing over, far away, up close, your choice. Sitting tall, flex that bottom foot just enough, so it doesn't have to be really intense, just halfway between total collapse and propping somewhere comfortable. With your hand or elbow, gather in. Now rather than shrinking back down into it, can you align your shoulders over your hips and revolve around a central axis? Take this time to feel into your breath. And gradually release again. Choosing your option, foot to the inside or come with me and tuck it alongside the outer thigh. Sitting evenly, find height in your body first with a breath in And the breath out as we start to inch our way forwards, even if it doesn't seem like very far. Okay, so just explore the pose. Return attention to your breath. Making your way out, legs long, give them a shake out. And coming light all the way down onto your back. Knees bent up. Arms down your sides. Keep your knees tracking at hip width apart, so your thighs are parallel to each other. Feet come in close, but not hard tucked in, just comfortably close to your hips. Pressing down into the soles of your feet and let your hips start to lift, slowly rising. And suspend here. So if you need to take an option, you might bring your hands to your hips just to help hold them in place, or you could keep them down at your sides, or you could clasp underneath, whatever feels best to you. Now, rather than just pushing your hips as high as you can, I want you to consider creating length from your shoulders to your hips, out to your knees and beyond. So we're searching for suspension, ease, space in the body. Adjust the position of your chin so that your throat can relax. And as you start to fatigue a little, or if you're feeling it in your lower back especially, start to distribute the effort between your glutes, your hamstrings, firing up the quads a little. Feel the resistance in the soles of the feet and against the backs of your arms. Okay, now take one more deep breath in, filling right up into the chest. And on your breath out, very, very slowly start to release. So pressing every vertebra into the floor individually, as though you're trying to make an imprint into clay. Really take your time. Molding your spine into the floor. Especially when you get to your lower back, really press it into the ground. Until eventually your hips land. And you can let everything relax again. Let your spine return to its natural curves. Glute muscles relax. Float your arms a little wider from your body. And let knees lower partway to one side. Bring them up and over, lowering to the other side. And keep it going, so feet remain on the floor. Knees fall all the way over to one side. And then if you want to add on, you might turn your head to the opposite direction. A breath in as you pass through center, and a breath out to the opposite side. Nose and knees pass through the middle, and lower to opposite sides. Let's do one more of these. Now bringing hands onto thighs. Slide on up to your knees, lifting feet off the floor. Let your hips wriggle a bit further away so your lower back lengthens against the ground. Shoulders at ease. Big toes touch. Knees open wide. Hands reach up from the inside to your shins or to your ankles. Shoulders broaden and relax back down, knees opening wide. and connect back in with your breath, inviting your breath deeply into a softened belly. Now you can stay in this position if you're comfortable here, or if you'd like to move into a happy baby pose, take hold of your feet from the inside or hold from the outside, keeping knees wide. Let your heels stack above your knees. Press the back of your hips into the floor. Allow shoulders to relax back down. And to make it more active, gently pressing down through the feet to bring your knees closer towards your ribs. Allow your breath to flow in with ease, filling belly, ribs and chest. Releasing the breath, softening chest, ribs and belly. Now whichever position you're in, from your happy baby or if you're still here, float your legs out wide, and you can hold from the outer thighs or rest your hands on top. Knees can remain as bent as they need to be, or you might start to lengthen them if it feels good. Maybe even reach to your big toes if you can get that far. You choose whether you've got a generous knee bend or you're looking for more extension, so just create your own pose here. Returning attention to your breath so we don't lose that focus. It's the easiest way to stay present in your body, through the breath. We'll stay for one more breath in. And then on the breath out, gently draw in your legs. Hold from the outside and gather them in. Let one foot land to the ground. Extend the other leg high. Knee can be as bent as it needs to be. Flex the lifted foot to create more of an energetic pose. So as we push the heel up towards the ceiling, also drive the back of your hips towards the floor. So creating a really active stretch here. Try not to let anything else tense up. Allow your upper body to relax. And we'll keep the pressure on for one more breath, pushing up, pushing down. And on the breath out, relax any tension here. Take hold of your leg in your opposite hand, move it across your body until you're lying on the side of your hip, and bring your arms wherever they're comfortable. Maybe a hand over the top. Any pressure in the lower back or in the pelvis, anywhere like that, you can always bend both knees up together. So find a place that's comfortable, never any pain. And let your body relax back down again. And then we'll gather knees back up through center. Let the other foot land to the floor. Push your heel up to the ceiling. Knee can be as bent as you like, even if it's here. We're still creating an action of pushing the heel away, toes back towards you. If your hips start to lift off, press them back down to the ground, moving in two opposing directions, pushing the heel up, driving the hip down. Stay for 2 more breaths here. And then gradually relax. Moving your leg across your body, bottom knee lands. Top leg extends out long, arms relaxed. So here you might access that stretch down the outer seam of the leg. Don't worry if you don't. You might just bring in a deeper rotation for your spine. Relaxing anything you're holding on to. It could be some tension around the hips or the back muscles or your inner thighs, or even somewhere around your chest. Just notice where it usually is for you. Those kind of go-to areas where tension lingers. Eventually coming back through centre. Now let your feet land to the floor. You could keep your knees bent up, feet a little bit wider, especially if there's any aggravation in your lower back or around your pelvis. Otherwise, turn the soles of your feet together and let knees fall open. So if you're getting a lot of feedback from spine, pelvis, inner thighs, anything like that, you may like to choose another option or even move your feet further away. So there's always ways of modifying. Get yourself really comfortable, and I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your belly again. Shoulders restful, neck comfortable. And return your focus to your breath entirely. Feel where it moves to in your body, where it's most apparent for you. It might be around the lower abdomen, rising up to your ribs, to your chest, and softening back down. Or you might even feel it out to the sides of your ribs. Big, expansive breaths. Or could you even feel it into your back body, pressing against the ground? Quite a different feeling. Can you feel the full capacity of your lungs, front, sides, and back? Bring your hands to the outside of your thighs and gently guide them back up again, bending your knees. Stretch arms out long overhead. Slide both heels away from you. Sweeping arms around as knees gather in. Come and roll over to one side and keep your eyes closed if you wish. Come and take a seated position to finish. Hands resting on knees or in your lap. Take a moment to adjust, finding a position where you feel lifted and supported, but also at the same time just softening back slightly, feeling ease and space in your body. Feel where your breath moves to. Is it more apparent in the front or the sides or the back? And we'll finish our class with a breath together. Arms floating wide and reach overhead. Touch at the top, and on the breath out, trace a line down your center. Land in your heart space. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. It's lovely to have you. Like I said, if you want to adapt that class to suit yourself, you could take it slower, you could make it more energized, you can lengthen it out any way you like, spend more time, go through it a few more times. And just have a play, explore and enjoy. And I'll see you next time.